Good morning and welcome to the David Wilson Out and About YouTube channel. This is video 2 in a playlist series that I'm doing on the new E-fin I've bought. The one I've bought is from a company called Hiqmar. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm wrong, I apologise to the company. But anyway, in part 1 I basically did an out of the box and just explained all the various components. And in this part I'm going to try and work out how to actually set it up on my single-seater story kayak. So what I'm going to do, I've got the kayak inflated. I'm going to play around for 5 minutes, see how I get on, then I'll bring you back and show you what I've come up with the equipment and the straps that I've got available to me at the moment. Okay, now this is the complete piece of kit. Here we have the battery box, which the manufacturers state is completely waterproof and unsinkable, but then again so is the Titanic. Obviously when it's clipped down, that's it sealed. It's got a seal going right around the outside of the box. That's quite stiff when you open it up to open at the moment. I'm sure that will give a bit. Then so may the amount of waterproofness it's got. Anyway, if I open that up in the box at the moment, there is, I've actually put this in. I bought, this doesn't come with it. I bought a little paddle leash, which I'm going to attach the kill switch to, but I'll show you that later. But that doesn't come with it. This does, and there's the remote control. I won't be operating it today because obviously I'm out of water, but if you want to see it very briefly in operation, if you go to video 1, I'm explaining all the components, and I do very quickly run it because obviously I'm running it in air, not in water. So you've got the battery box and those couple of pieces of kit, fin. I've left the battery charger and cables in the kit at the moment. I doubt if I'm going out for the day whether I'll carry them. I won't be carrying this on the kayak, this polyurethane box. This will be left on the vehicle, but I've just left it in there for now. So this is the complete piece of kit. Again, if you go back to video 1, I explain each piece of the kit that's supplied. So it's well worth going back and having a look at that. Excuse the noise of the train in the background. And what I'll do, I'll put a link up the top to the original video. I did say I'm running a series anyway, so obviously as I go along I'm going to get a load of cables out, try and secure this down and find a practical way of using it for the first time out on the water. Obviously over time I'm sure that will develop and alter, you know, for usability, etc. But on the videos, as I'm testing it out and as I improve things, I will update you. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the kayak over, get the fin attached, and then I'm going to go and get a load of cables, and I'm just going to crack on trying to work out how best to secure this, mainly for obviously if the kayak did capsize. It's very difficult to capsize this kayak, to be honest, but if it did, that the box would still remain in the actual kayak. True to form, it started raining as I'm videoing. What I'm going to do, I do this once a year anyway. I'm going to grease up the skeg box. They're often the skegs are really quite tight to get in, and if it's a cold morning it can really hurt your hands. So what I'm using in this case is a bit of Vaseline and poor man's kitchen roll toilet paper, and I'm just going to run a load of Vaseline inside the track. That's just to ease it in and out, and I'm going to put a little bit on the, just a thin layer on the bottom of the skeg fin, because obviously it does go back into the plastic box. What I have done is, as I said, I put some Vaseline on the track and a small piece on the fin, and what I have done, I've pushed it in and out quite a few times, wiggled it about a bit to try and just ease it up a bit, because it is really stiff, and bashing it in with your hands can really cause you some issues, especially on a cold morning. So that's in now. You've got the locking pin. So if I come around here, take the locking pin, push it in, and that's it, it's locked in. So that is, say for argument's sake, he was reversing up or something, or he's being pushed backwards, it hit a log or something underwater, it wouldn't push the fin out and the fin try and float away. Obviously it'd be attached to the battery box, hopefully. So that's it in and secured. So there you go. That's it on the bottom of the boat. The fin is 10 inches high from here to there, so it's probably around about 11.5 inches to the actual kayak itself. And what I've got is a couple of these underneath it to raise it off the ground, so it still may tip the ground. I tend to use them when I'm cleaning the kayak to save my back, and obviously if the grass or it's mud or shingle, I can get the sand off and then try and move it to pack it away to keep it excuse me, to keep it as clean as possible. And being a bit OCD, both of the ones underneath are matching, they're in grey. As you can see, I've taken the cable along from where the skeg position is, round to the back, through the carry handle. Obviously it doesn't matter whether I put it underneath the cargo net on the back, it's not going to reach, it's got to go into the kayak. I assumed it was going to be that way because of the size of the side chambers, and it's got a solid plastic keel on this. Not a problem, I knew that was going to happen, just thought I'd show you that. Obviously if it was a pedal board you wouldn't have the 10-inch chambers. The pedal board's a lot flatter, so you'd probably be able to run it up the back, secure it and just go straight in it. It'll look a lot neater, but there you go. Right, let's try again. Right, attempt 2, here we go. So what I've done, I've now brought it straight up the side. The skeg is round about in this position. So what I've done, I've taken it under the cargo net there, under the cargo net there, and I've just loosely placed it in. It's not too unsightly. I will be putting it the other side because at the moment, because I've got knee problems, as you probably gathered by my other videos, my right knee's the worst. So what I'm always having to do is get in using my left leg. So I will be bringing that to this side predominantly, so that this doesn't sort of rub against the sides of any platforms or anything, catches any bushes. It will basically be what I call water side. But just for the video purposes, so you can see the cable, I've done it on that side. I've put the seat in the kayak just to try and gauge the area I've got to actually locate this box. And what I was thinking of doing, because of the weight, 3.5 kilos, I was thinking about locating it at the back of the seat. Then I could put my, because I normally have my lunch box back here as well. But as you can see, I could probably stretch it there, but again, it's very unsightly and it'll be pulled taut. Anything with that, if it was there, I could reach round to it, but then I couldn't see it. So it's a no-no, really. The cable's not long enough. There's 120 centimetres of cable back to the paddleboard. Absolutely ideal. I'm probably losing about 18 inches of that length just coming up the sides and looping round. So we are going to have to locate it to the rear of the kayak. No big deal, we're getting there. Well, here's my first attempt. I think that's basically what I'll do to go out the first time. So what I've done, I've put the battery box, I've taken all the accessories out and I put the battery box in the supplied cargo bag. It's like a net, but you can actually put it in like a shopping bag. Pushed it back under and I've looped that. It's not very secure because these are only hooks. I've looped that onto the cargo net at the back on all 4 corners. So the ones behind and the ones in front are all looped on. And what I've done, just for the moment, I've used one of my bungee cords with calipers on the ends, just to make sure that it's attached. So it's attached to the carrying handle. What I'm trying to do, not that it really matters, is make it look as discreet as possible. So the cable, yes, you can see the cable running up the side. If you look, I know it's there. You know it's there now. And I've just run it down the side of the deck and then in. But what I may do is place one of my smaller dry bags on the cargo net at the back, having this, because there's plenty of give in this, having this over the top as well, so the cargo bag will lay on the top. I'm not sure if I put something in front of this, directly in front of this, whether I'll lose the signal from the remote control. Now, although I've just said that, when I had the fin, it sounds a bit stupid, but I was testing the fin out in the bath, which was a bit stupid because the thing's quite powerful and it was trying to drag me into the bath. But anyway, I did leave it in the bath, and I was playing around with the remote control in my lounge, and I heard this noise, and what it was, I was actually operating the fin from the lounge to the bathroom. It says it's got a range of 5 meters. Sorry, 5 meters? I think it is 5 meters. I'll have to check up on that, and I'll put that on the screen. But this was a fair way away and going through several walls. So again, maybe that's something to test out, that I can more or less hide this and then still be operating it. Hide it to a degree because I've still got the kill switch to fit. So that's my setup for the moment. And I'm just now going to attach the kill switch and show you the paddle leash that I've bought and show you what I'm going to do with that. My apologies if there's a lot of wind noise on this video. It really is quite gusty out here. It's not the greatest of days. Quite glad I didn't go out on the paddle. I've just worked 3 consecutive 12-hour shifts, so I'm far too tired to actually go out on the paddle, but there you go. Right, let's crack on. So what I've done, this is the supplied kill switch, just a magnet on a piece of basically cheap plastic, but it's good enough. And as I may have said earlier, I picked up this very cheap leash, paddle leash on Amazon. I wouldn't use it on my paddle. It doesn't really look up to it, to be honest, but it's absolutely perfect for this. It's about sort of 4 mil, got a lot of elasticity, got what would be the paddle grip on there, so I'll be attaching it to myself or to my belt or my person somewhere, maybe my buoyancy aid. And then all we got to do, I'm sitting down to avoid hurting my knees, put it in because it's a magnet, so it's on there, so that will stretch past the seat, be attached to me, and obviously if I fall out it will pull, because obviously the fallout will be quite a heavy jerk, and I'm a heavy fella, and pump, that will cut out the battery, stop the skeg from moving, skeg, fin, whatever you want to call it, and I won't lose my kayak and all the rest of my gear. So it's a nice cheap, I think that was about £9, and what I'll do, I'll put the link in the description below. They're everywhere, but you know, some of them were a bit too bulky and thick. They were proper what I'd call paddle leashes, even too long that I'd be further out before it actually pulled and cut off. It needs to be that short enough so as soon as you sort of hit the water, this is coming out. So there's my setup for the moment. I think that's about all I can say about it, and we'll try that. Let's feel what the weight's like. God, it's putting a bit of weight on the back, but then again, I'm not standing up. Then you expect that the battery will be disconnected in the water and lifted out. I won't be trying to lift the kayak out, and then I'll just have the weight of the fin, which is not so heavy. I think it was 0.75 of a kilogram, where that and the fin, you're coming in at around about 4.5 to 5 kilograms the lot, quite a bit heavier just on the back. And obviously if I'm lifting it out, then I'm trying to put the kayak down, and I'll be putting it down on the motor. I don't really want to do that. So there's a little bit of faff using it. It's not going to be used all the time, not going to be taken all the time. It's if I feel that I'm either going on a long paddle, or I feel that I'm going to be naughty that day and end up on a long paddle and get too tired. Another alternative is to, where I could bring this out a little bit, maybe secure it better, is to attach some more D-rings. Excuse me. Attach some more D-rings and obviously then secure it that way. I'd see how it works out, because I've got 2 kayaks, so I'm not actually just customizing this for this. I've got my drop stitch glider kayak, which is a completely different kayak, slimmer, much longer. So it will be on that, wherever it goes on that, it will be completely different from this setup. So as long as I'm not going to lose it, and as long as it's tucked away, and I do want it to be discreet, I don't want it sticking out, you know, like when the people go out with these trolling motors on the side and sort of hammering down the river. So yeah, I think this little bit, nice and simple, I think that'll work out absolutely perfect. It's Saturday today, and I've just come off of 3 consecutive 12-hour shifts, quite heavy shifts. That with my problem with my knees and some new medication that the doctors put me on. I've been having a bit of a rough time of it this week. Had hardly any sleep. That's one of the side effects of the meds. Constipated. I've taken myself off of them, so there was no way I was going to be able to get out today. I really do need to rest. I just wanted to get this video done. Tomorrow, Sunday, going out on the river's ridiculous. There's no way you can review. There'll be loads of people out. I'm trying to use a motor. People will see me setting it up, and you know, they'll be asking me questions about it, and so you'll spend a lot of your time explaining. I often get asked about the kayak. I'll probably get asked about the motor, so it just wouldn't get done. So what I'm going to do, I'm off for 3 days during the week. I've got a few things I've got to do. I'm hoping to get out one of those days to do my maiden voyage with it, do some tests, some speed tests, see how much I can get, and then that'll lead me on to the next video. I'll answer questions for myself and for you, but I will also create questions for me and you, I'm sure. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting out and giving it a go later in the week, weather permitting and time permitting. You can just see, look, my kill switch has attached itself to my metal railing. Anyway, this is Maisie Cat, my fat lazy cat behind me here. She's what I call my fur wife. It's just me and her live together, and she nags me to death. But she's come out for a bit of fresh air today. I remember about a year ago when I was doing the last review I did on my glider. I think it was my glider 18 months in or whatever. And I'm standing there recording, and in the background the cat is climbing up the side with its claws into the kayak, which is quite a proof of how resilient the kayak is, because that cat's got long claws, and it climbed up the outside of the kayak and jumped in and laid down. I'm glad I didn't see it, because I would have freaked out, but obviously there was no holes in the kayak, so it just shows how tough. That's the full drop stitch. It just shows how tough those that material is. Right, well, that's it for now. So I'm going to get this video up for you. If you have got any questions, please don't hesitate to drop them in the comments below, but hopefully they will be answered in future videos. And do, if you haven't seen it, pop back and watch video 1, because that's the, like I said, I don't do an unboxing. I don't need to get it out of a cardboard box. I've just showed you all the components, given a few views on it. It's not even tested yet. I've got it set up. It's relatively discreet where it is. So fingers crossed it's all going to work out. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting out and trying it out, testing the speed. Battery life might be a bit later, because I don't know how much I'll be able to do on the next one, but what's the rush? And then once it's all tested out on this one, then get the glider out, my big one, and go through all that sort of side again. So yeah, looking forward to it. Right, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, if you watched this far. If you're a subscriber, as usual, thank you so much for supporting my channel by subscribing. The ratings are picking up, quite steadily now, which is very encouraging, and it's cheering me up. It's motivating me to get out there and do a bit of work other than normal work. Right, that's it for now. Bye, and I'll see you on the next video.